Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your reading for September the 1st to find out what's cracking. First day of the month, first day of spring here in Australia. Seven of Cups just fell out of the deck. So some of you may be experiencing a time when you have a lot of choices, or you could be going through a time of confusion, but just a little message there to start the day off. Firstly, thank you to all who've subscribed to my channel. I'm so grateful to have you on board. I'm very honoured that you've chosen to be with me and listen to my readings. For those who are just checking in and haven't yet subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. Every part of that is genuine. I am nothing but honest. I am so humbled by this experience, and I say it every time. So I haven't quite got used to the idea yet, and I hope that I never do, because it's so amazing to have the opportunity to do card readings for over 100 people at one time. So if my readings don't resonate with you, that's cool. You can move on and find another reader. There'll be one that resonates for sure. Cards I'm using today are the Ciro Marchetti deck. That's the Gilded Tarot. A lot of readers using these at the moment. I'm about to put mine to bed for a little while and bring out a new deck, so I like to use different decks. Now, let's see what's cracking for the world today. Okay, so under the deck we have the Page of Swords. Now that tells me there might be a few messages here. So one of them is that you could receive a message from someone. It could be you're spying on someone or someone's spying on you. People talk about this being the internet card, so keep that in mind. There's a few things. It could mean that someone's going to express a truth to you today. Don't be too worried, it's only a little truth. It comes in the form of a page, so it's not something that's going to be overwhelming, but it sort of might shock you a little bit, so just be wary of that. It could be a truth that's good too. It could be about somebody, delivering the message that they love you, so keep that in mind too. So that's what we're looking at today for the general energy. Okay, first card out is Temperance. So I guess seeing the Page of Swords and now seeing the Temperance card says to me that you may receive something and you may have to keep a balance in what you're thinking or doing. Maybe this message is something you've wanted to hear, but it somehow sort of makes you feel you need to move in this space of balancing yourself out. Maybe it was something you needed to know to get to this position. Maybe the message was, something that it might have been the news of a job and you've had to move into this energy now. You're relieved to have a job, and maybe you're, finding your balance here now, and it's sort of like you're in a really good space. But whatever it is, I feel like that's possibly what's happening here. I'm going to move my tripod. We won't be too hard on it after last week. Okay, so after the Temperance, the King of Cups comes in. So maybe this is from someone who's a water sign, Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. The King of Cups is he's a pretty well-balanced man. We like to say in control of his emotions. I don't know whether in control is a good idea. He's certainly learned how to deal with his emotions, and he has them in check now. So maybe through his experiences, he's learned how to present himself in a good way. Whatever the story is here, it looks like somehow or another this comes through a King of Cups. So it could be someone delivering you a message of love, it could be someone delivering you a message of good fortune, but whatever it is, it comes in a truth. Okay, and then we have the Eight of Cups here. Now, the Eight of Cups talks about us moving away from a situation. So maybe this truth wasn't something you wanted to hear, or it's impacted you so greatly you now need to take time out and move away from it. Now, this can often move, say you're moving away from, the Eight Cups because they're spilled, you've had enough, you're bored with them, whatever, and you're moving on to find the Two Cups are meaningful. Whatever it is, the Eight Cups haven't brought you satisfaction. You're after your Ten of Cups or your Two of Cups now. So that's where you're off to. And it could be this has resulted in you moving away from a situation because of that. Okay, and then we bring in the Three of Pentacles. So I'd say it's very possible you're moving away to build on your own resources now. So something's happened here where you've received a message. Now, it could be a breakup message too, which I didn't really think about before. The King of Cups is upright, so he's doing it in a very gentle way. He's not being, if he was upside down, I'd say maybe he's doing it in a nasty way. But maybe you've been waiting to hear this message for a while. Maybe you've broken up with the King of Cups, but whatever way it is, you're moving away to set yourself up now, because this is the card of starting on independence. You're not doing it alone, so it's possible you could be seeking help of friends and families to get this underway, but that's what you're on your way to. Okay, and then we come in with the Four of Swords. So this does require some time out, this situation. So please be advised that this may upset you a little bit because you're taking time out. These two cards together make me feel like you're reviewing the way you're going now. It's like you had a pathway here, but now you've walked away from that pathway, and it's sort of giving you this opportunity to review the direction you want to go in. Maybe you learned a lot from this particular event, and now you're looking at which direction does that take me in? Where should I go? Beautiful. That's perfect, because you get the Seven of Pentacles in next, which shows me you are building something for your future. This situation might have knocked you off kilter for a little while, but whatever it is, it's spurred you into redoing things. So now you are planting seeds for your future. You're looking at the direction you want to go in, and you're flying with that. Okay, and then in comes the Fool. So I think somehow this situation has been perhaps an epiphany moment. It could have been, as I said, a breakup. It could have been a wish or something that's come true. But whatever it is, it's put you in the opposite direction, and you're now working on your independence through this. And the Fool certainly talks about taking a risk and having new beginnings. So I think somehow or another you're moving away from something to look after yourself. Yeah, and here you come in with the Seven of Wands. You know, this card talks about being defensive, you know, putting up your defenses a little bit. I feel like maybe you think you need to do this. Maybe this lesson you've learned here through the Page of Wands has taught you need to be a little bit more careful about, you know, how you go into situations, how you manage people. Maybe you need to understand that you have to practically put some boundaries in place to stop things happening in future. Just be careful that you don't put the defenses up too high and block off your heart chakra, because sometimes we do that. We come away from something, we become so defensive we don't allow ourselves to experience it again. So it could be you're moving into that energy too. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So this very much says to me now that you're working from intuition. Maybe this stuff here has taught you that you're not accessing your greater power, you're not living in your truth, you're not accessing your higher self. It's like you're working here from perhaps ego, and now you're realizing you need to, what you want from here, you've somehow realized is what you want, and you've been able to feel comfortable walking away from this situation. But the Queen of Cups is a very nice card. Now, the other thing that could be here that's very possible is that you're walking away from one water sign to walk to another water sign. You know, we talk about general readings, not being male, female. But to be honest with you, this feels like an energy that you're creating here. It's almost like you're so comfortable in your own skin right now, ready to move forward. Yeah, and here you are with a brand new start. This whole thing here, this whole reading is about you standing in your truth. It's about you not accepting what you're not worthy of. It's almost like you've started this off and realized at some point through this message, through this person, whatever it is, that you need to walk off and find yourself. And here you are standing in your truth, a brand new you, ready to take on the world as yourself, not as this person you've portrayed to the world before. So there's a huge change in you here. It's a great energy of being able to speak up and say what you want. Perhaps you couldn't do this here. Perhaps that was you realizing, you know, maybe you were being treated unfairly and now you won't be anymore. So definitely a nice energy there, folks. Okay, pull your quick oracle card. Hey. Okay, and we have out fire. So it talks about letting go of emotional upheaval and embracing the renewal of the present. So That's the card of fire there. Sorry, I'm reading that without my glasses on, so I hope I've got it right, but I'll put it closer so you can read it just in case I've got the wording wrong. But what this talks about is leaving things behind to move on to something that you know you're worthy of. So it fits in very nicely with this reading. So that's your reading for the 1st of September. Enjoy your day. It's the weekend. Weekends are always good. And I'll come back tomorrow for another daily. Thanks, everyone.